Okay, Skip. About halfway through conference play. Does it feel like the season's going fast?
Yeah, it's always that part where you kind of done your first lap around, you've played everybody, and now you're starting to situate where everybody is, and you start to, kind of have what I call the lifeboat moment. You got a few teams above you, got a few teams below you, and you're getting ready to kind of fight for that positioning for Boise. So, yeah, excited for that second half to start and get ready to go here this Thursday and Saturday.
Last week you had a home game and an away game. What was just kind of the challenge of dealing with that
Yeah,
kind of
something
schedule?
that we don't do too often in the Big Sky. So having that split weekend. So, yeah, I mean that's a road trip that usually is a pretty long road trip on that travel day in between. So it breaks that up a little bit for us. So, but I thought we did a good job recovering as we came back. Had a good preparation for the game on Saturday and played a good Northern Colorado team.
Just what kind of was your biggest takeaway from either game or just both games in general?
Yeah, I mean, obviously up in Northern Arizona, both teams were really scoring the ball. Some step-up moments for both teams in terms of filling in and putting the ball in the basket. So, you get up there and a little bit of elevation and the scoring and that kind of stuff. So I'm sure that was an entertaining game to watch. And then came back and played a physical Northern Colorado team. They did a really nice job down the stretch. We cut that, got ourselves into a little bit of lead there late in the game, and then they did a good job of knocking down a few shots that we missed, and then we got into that foul at the end situation.
Coming up, second matchups against the Montana schools. What are you kind of taking from those first matchups that you're kind of – is it the same game plan, or are you implementing some new things that you sort of saw in the game that were –
Yeah, for sure. You're always adjusting to things that you've seen and rosters change. Sometimes you have injuries or styles change. All those kinds of things affect the way you play a team the second time around. And so haven't been a lot of changes with Montana State, so we'll see the same pressing, same 10-player rotation that we've seen against them the first time. Montana's been playing a little bit without Matt Koenig. She did come back in the last game, so we'll see her a lot more going into this weekend. And so, yeah, you just kind of look at what they're running now, what adjustments have they made to what their roster. What are they doing well? Obviously, Montana was on a nice streak, had won 4 in a row until they got beat on that last game on Saturday. So they're doing some things well that we'll need to address.
are these kind of are these like the games you want to win the most? I guess like from a rivalry sense.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I want to win all the games for sure. I think the best thing that you can do is really just look at each weekend individually, and certainly each game individually. And so, anytime you're in the proximity, you recruit against those same types of programs or recruit from the same places. There's a little bit added to that, but we just try to focus on one game, one weekend at a time, and just make sure we take care of the job on Thursday.
Halfway through this, at this point in the season, is it kind of the philosophy keep going with what you were planning to do at the beginning of the season, or are you kind of, adjusting to what you have, like maybe like injury-wise, or is it kind of just, the general philosophy of?
Yeah, for sure. I think you have to constantly be analyzing. And so, like I said earlier, if there's roster changes due to injuries, then you might have to emphasize things in different areas. We certainly reflect on what we are doing well, and we've kind of made some adjustments onto what we're running offensively and what areas do we want to emphasize. If you have a decent-sized playbook like we can, you can just lean towards the things that are working well with this personnel at this time. And so that's kind of what we've done. And so we're excited about it. It's been effective the last few weeks, and now we just got to make sure we're defending at a high level as well.
Kind of going off of that, I mean, Elan's kind of become a main scorer. She's been consistent the whole year, but really stepping up more. Is she kind of where you expected her to be, or like what was the expectation?
Yeah, for sure. We knew that she was a high-level scorer for sure. So, being able to put that trust into her at the beginning of the season, get her some experience leading things, and now she's really gotten comfortable knowing when to go score. We're playing a little bit more into that ball screen action with her right away, and so she's had some more opportunities. But really, that's just the trust that the players have in her, that we have in her to go out and make plays, and she's doing it at a very high level.
She talked about she wants to be on ball. Is that the idea? You want to embrace that idea?
Yeah. Are you talking about on-ball defense, or are you talking about offensively? Yeah, we're putting in a lot of ball screen actions. We've always had those within our Princeton and some different ways that we can get into that action. And so, yeah, we can emphasize that a little bit more. And you can see that both she and Ella are doing a great job creating offense for themselves, but also really for other people as well.
And then Emily comes off the bench. She's kind of, the go-to bench player, does a lot of things. Is that kind of, is that the role you sort of foresaw for her overall, maybe going into the year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, certainly she was, had a great offseason. We knew that she was going to compete for that starting role. And then as we got closer to the game situation, we thought moving her over to where she could play more of that shooting guard, be a primary defender, guard the other team's best player, play some point guard as well, but also just kind of be that shooting guard where she can defend, knock down open shots, create when the opportunities arrive. So yeah, she's an outstanding player for us, and we're super happy with her. She's doing great.
Jody always talks about, being number one in culture. How do you see in this year kind of that develop? I mean, every year it's kind of, you have, half new players, half returners.
For sure. I mean, certainly you want that to be player-led, so you can talk about that as a staff, and we want to help, nurture that and talk about it and make it important. And then certainly it's going to be up to the players themselves to be player-led on how that's going to happen in the locker room, those types of things. The feedback that the players have, what we see is outstanding. Closest team that we've had, according to a couple of our seniors, the whole time that they've been here at Eastern. So yeah, just a group that really enjoys each other, likes each other, and just common to the theme, just wants to play for each other and do well for each other.
Obviously, I mean, in season, working a lot. What do you do in downtime, not on the court, or is it just basketball all the time?
100%. You're working a ton. So Sundays, man, football's off this last Sunday for the first time. So I do like to just kind of chill out on Sundays and watch some football and dive back into the basketball on Monday. And so that's really the big thing. And then obviously we have a daughter who's a basketball player, so we're able to go watch her play some basketball, and soccer will kick back up for her in the next couple of weeks. So really just kind of be an parent for the most part, get a little downtime on Sunday, relaxing and watching some football when it's available.
Awesome. What is your favorite spot in Cheney and or Spokane to go out or do something at, or anything? Oh
yeah, man, many choices. I mean, downtown River Park is so good in Spokane with in terms of music venues and in that downtown area. So I really like to go into those spaces. No Light Brewery, Brick West Brewery. Some of those are great restaurants with good vibes. Go watch the game, do those types of things for sure. But man, just walking around River Park, especially as the weather warms up a little bit, that space is just an incredible. And then in Cheney, just I spend so much time here watching sports, watching our daughter play sports. So we like to go to those venues for sure. Man, I'm a big Arturo's guy. Got to get myself an Arturo's burrito. If it's not with the team, it's going to be by myself once a week.
And then, so who do you most trust on Ox?
Oh man, the music people, myself, of course. So multi-generational. The daughter's got me back into some of the younger stuff off of that one. Okay. But other than that, I mean, for sure I'm number one. For sure I'm number one. Am I going?
Yeah. All over the place. What are we doing?
Yeah, I'm more of the alt country kind of guy. So if you know the Avett Brothers, if you can dive into like a Mumford and Sons, Lumineers type of vibe, that's where I'm going with that kind of stuff. But definitely, if you're in Eastern Washington, you got to be able to mix in a little bit of the regular stuff. Little Cody Johnson's going on the playlist now, and why not hit Zach Bryan and Morgan Wall and some of the younger guys that are doing a good job.
Who on the for the girls? Which one do you trust the most?
I mean, Ella's got the country vibe going for sure off of that one. I feel like I trust Maddie Gibbs to bring me into a game day mode.
What about Court?
Say it again.
Courtney's
diverse. Like Courtney knows that she can go country. She can go with the R&B. She can go with the pop. So would trust her as well for sure.
Who do you least trust?
Oh, least. Oh man. That's a very good question. Who am I going to?
There's a runaway favorite on player.
There was
there's a runaway player.
They probably have a better feel for that based on locker room and at the apartments off of that one. There's nobody. They're probably in the headphones, turning it up and staying away from me off of that one. So I don't have anybody to throw under the bus on that one.
What about a coach?
Yeah. Coach Dora. Yeah, I'm not ready to trust Coach Dora with her playlist yet.
Awesome. Last one. What's your Super Bowl pick?
Seahawks. I mean, what are we talking about here? I know we've got an Eastern guy on each team between Efton and Cooper, but we're here. We're going for the Hawks 100%.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, you got it.